Postal gang, welcome in, welcome in. Let's get this out of my ear and let's get to the games. How's everybody doing today? We're going to dive straight on in because your boy has been a bit late out here. And we're going to get into this all 22 from the Bears and the Ravens. Don't really think we got time for anything else. No fluff, no box scores. Tape talk. Really and truly the basic premise, I think, for all 22s is to kind of get a behind-the-scenes view, totally understand what each play was meant to break down or what it could potentially have been in terms of the breakdown, and to kind of understand each individual player's role. To speak of said roles, we go into each individual play. It is shown from a multitude of angles, and that play and play alone gets to be analyzed, diced up, and dissected in a way that tells us whether or not player A, player B, so on and so forth, made the right decision, had the right block, ran the right route, made the right read, so on and so forth. Obviously, In this particular instance here, we will be focusing in a lot on the quarterback. I do believe that if time permits, we will go through every Caleb Williams throw that is available. We will discuss opportunities to be better in each individual pass and play. What do we see? What did he miss, if anything? And if he did indeed miss a particular play, what might be the remedy as far as how that goes? You know, the score was 30-16 in said game. The turning point in this game is much like Jihan just spoke about last instance, and it kind of killed us both. 6s and 3s. 3s being field goals, 6s being touchdowns, and the Bears in their first 2 possessions came away with 3s as opposed to 6s. Those would be considered turning points, and it kind of shows you how the matchup was, for lack of a better term, given away in the onset. Bears had multiple chances right then on the road to score 2 touchdowns, go up 14-0, and kind of quiet the crowd and put away a team that was on the ropes. Instead, we took the opportunity to not take advantage. We let Tyler Snoop Huntley dissect us in a way in which Caleb possibly should have done to the Baltimore Ravens defense. Nonetheless, before we get started, drop a bear down in the comments. Hit that like button for me if you will. And let me know if you watched the game live. As always, it'll be quarterback versus quarterback. But in this instance, since Lamar Jackson did not play, we will talk about Caleb's decision-making in the pocket. Any reads he made on key downs. See how he manipulated the pocket, whether or not he stepped up at times he was supposed to. Did he dump it off to a person that was a better option, so on and so forth. We want to check out Caleb's eyes. See if he is safely not locking in on a particular receiver, but making the eye movements so that he can kind of hit a player on any given route, a dig route, a slant, curl, whatever the route may be. Do we think that on the whole, we will see Caleb's processing be better than we think it was watching the game? Obviously, watching the game, I think we can come up with our own particular conclusions as to whether or not things were done properly or could have been done better. With that being said, the All-22 does give you the opportunity to look behind the scenes and find out, indeed, if the things that we saw in real time were things that actually come to fruition in terms of slow motion and us being able to see it from multiple angles to know exactly what was going on. While we talk about it and while you hit that like button, the mailman had a very long Wednesday afternoon. Did not get home until 7:15, and we do have a couple things to get into, so I do want to have a bit of a mea culpa for myself, if we can use the term loosely. Gonna excuse myself from the camera lens. You will get all access to Bear Class 101 here when we take the field with the first Caleb possession. We say it in Caleb terms because Caleb is the focus for the most part, but we will touch base on offense, defense, and some things special teams. So with that being said, your boy will get his munch on with a few snacks behind the camera. And while we do that, we get into some disappointing film. Only because of the result. I don't know what the results of the film will give us, but I do understand that if you love this kind of tape breakdown, make sure you sub to the channel. Make sure you get that notification going because there's more All-22 content coming every week. We're going to talk skill players, spotlight on the weapons and playmakers, all directly tied to the quarterback. So without further ado, we go ahead and we see how it works for us over here, everybody. Bear with me and bear down as I am learning how to work on his all 22s here. So what we will do is try to get into some plays for Caleb. First play. Let's go straight to the first play. First play here is going to be a Caleb pass. It's going to go to Colston Loveland. So you see the motion by Luther Burden. You see Caleb roll out to his left. A little stumble by Colston. Could have got more right there, but the rollout, pre-scripted play, so we can't really tell you that things are not going the way they should. Watch it from the back angle because I do like this. Watch how he uses the screen. I mean, play action here. He rolls. Perfect. I want to see him do things like that a bit more throughout the course of the game. We do understand that the opportunity is there to roll out and get some looks for your tight ends. Why are we not able to take advantage of things like that at all? Here, we do have a play for a Kyle Manun guy. This is a run play, so I'm interested in seeing just how they block up for the runner. 1 yard gain, nothing good here as far as an actual game, but I'm interested in seeing from another angle exactly how this is set up to be blocked. So you see the shift by 75 come to the middle of the field. Watch, we got 6 linemen out there. Watch how 75, which is Trapillo, rolls in and picks his man up, but somewhere in the middle of that is not picked up the right way. Somebody missed a block there. I might even want to go back to it, but right now we still supposed to be worried about Caleb and his passes. So let's get to this Roma Doomsday for 16 yards. Motion by 84. Play action again. Time in the pocket, he steps up slightly because that's all he needed to do and drops it right over the top to Rome. Those situational plays right there, as we see, we got 2 tight end personnel there. The shift was Loveland. Right into his belly. Plenty of time to throw it, and he throws it to a person that is there. Now, what I would do want to see is, do I see anybody else on that play? And they only give me two chances to look at it. So I do not care for the running plays. Not right now. I don't want to see the running plays. And this is from the sideline. This is from the end zone. I think we're going to do everything from the end zone play. Everything will be from behind. All end zone. Let me see. What is this? What is this view? What is this view? What is this view? Give it to me. I gotta watch this play one more again because okay. 1 tight end, 3 wides. Also, it looked like a fake reverse, but he hands it to him to go up the middle of the left. Go off the left side. That's how he gets that 3 yards there. No push. Not seeing a lot of push on the line in this game here. And that is a bit different than the last 2 games because they did have opportunities, I believe, to get some runs. Here, I believe they didn't get enough men up front to this play. So it didn't allow him to hit the second level. It's going to tackle you right there for a 3-yarder. Typically, that might happen for us. Now, let's get in to see exactly where Caleb has another pass here. This is going to go to Roma Dunze. So let's look at it again. End zone. Light fake. Rome comes across his body. Right across the middle. Easy rollout. Watch the rollout to the right. Don't you do it. Nope. I need you to go back. This tape is really interesting to me in times, but it is crazy to try to understand exactly what we're watching here. When you see things like that, as far as this play goes, are the receivers creating separation? Is my question for you. We want to see just how DJ, Rome, even Colston, are they creating separation? You see Rome, and if Rome doesn't get caught on the back of Roquan Smith, Cash, no. If he doesn't get caught on the back end of him, it's more yards to be gained on. At this point, these are the what I classify as the good plays. These are the scripted plays. Let's get into the things that don't work so much, because I do want to see exactly what it is that Caleb is not seeing for us. So we got 3 out of that right there, but I do want to find out exactly how we got down. So we are on Baltimore's 8, because as we see, we got down to the 10-yard line. Caleb scrambles for 2 yards. Now, no huddle. This is a penalty play here. And this is the first portion of stagnating our game. So, let's see 84. We're looking at 84 to see if we see any movement to find out where to get this false start from. I'm looking at everybody. 84. Oh, 84 did move. So, 84. Colston, I can't have you having 2 penalties every damn game. It won't work. No Cash. Calm down, little guy. It's just your neighbors. It's okay. It's all right. He getting more excited about the neighbors than he is about these plays we got going on. So let's see. 3rd and 6 after a false start. End zone play. Let's see how he gets his play off. Let's see the pass pro. Oh, no pass pro. Quick scramble. Now I believe he was held right there. No penalty call right there. And I just want to watch this again to make sure he wasn't grabbed. He come across the screen. He got rubbed once. Right here. He's totally being held by the arm. No call, but he still makes the play. I'm annoyed with that, because no way does he not get grabbed. Look at it right here. Holding him. Now, yes, he makes the play, but I venture to say there should have been a PI or illegal contact, something at that point. Nonetheless, didn't happen. And after that particular play, because that was a, 3rd and 6. So now, 1st and 6. Let's figure out exactly what's going on here. So we got a DeAndre Swift up the middle, 3 yards. First and 6, that would get you to 2nd and 3. Then Kyle Monungai, somehow. Let's find out exactly how you lose these 2 yards on the shotgun play. Right here. He hesitated. The hesitation in this play is how we lose here. If he plants that foot and goes straight to the right, I believe we get more yards. Yep. If he plants that foot, he right behind 84, and we get a tutty. And because that don't happen, on the next subsequent play, shotgun, let's see what Caleb does. Nope. You got to get rid of that ball. I don't believe you take sacks. So let's see. Is anybody open? We got 84. He covered. Right now, if had Caleb noticed it, he does have my wonderful guy by the name of Kyle Monungai, which I think he missed Monungai a couple times. He had him right there. Now, after the Bears got that first touchdown, they actually get into something what we classify as good defense. Derrick Henry ran for 4 yards. Then you sacked Snoop Montez to get him back at a 2nd and 6. Then they passed for 7 yards. Didn't, 4th down. And they got a punt. We get another 6-man front with Trapillo checking in. Monungai gets 15 yards. Now, what I didn't notice in this, and this is totally an aside, I was a bit concerned after the fact that DeAndre Swift did not do our first offensive drive. It was Kyle Monungai. And DeAndre had 11 carries. I'm wondering if any of that is residual of his heel injury or what have you. But we will keep up on some injury reports throughout the course of the week and see exactly what is going on. How can he get better? Is he getting better? So on and so forth. So, still first quarter. Get the ball back. Let's take this drive and see what we did wrong. So this is going to be an incomplete pass off his back foot. Let's see if you could have did anything with that to start. Could he have planted that foot and possibly did something better? 6 men blocking because you got 84 there. Now, had you looked back behind you, again, it's a Monungai. But since he didn't do that, short pass across the middle to Lamar Zacchaeus. Now, play action. A little high. Was a better option around after the play action? Let's find out. Did 81 stay in the block? Yes, he did. Okay. So in this particular play, I don't see anybody else. So that would appear that you make the right read. And matter of fact, that's how we're going to go through this for the rest of the stream. Right read, wrong read. Now this is an incomplete pass across the middle. DJ is wide open, streaking down the field. But let's look at what you did again, throwing it wrong. The great blitz pickup. And if you just look to your left, DJ is streaking down the field. Play action again. Nice protection. Now, I notice a lot. Caleb does not ever have a tendency to step up or climb the pocket. He kind of stays in a sedentary spot where he is. I would definitely like to see him do a bit more moving. He got clipped at the angle there, and if he steps up in the pocket, then I think it's a less likely opportunity for him to get clipped like that. Another short pass coming up to Zacchaeus. But let's see exactly what we think Caleb is seeing out here. Let's see if anybody else is open. Okay, so blocking. I think the block point was kind of weak because you only had one person at that blocking on that. They overloaded to that side. And then you took Rome away. Nobody followed him, so you took a blocker away from that side. So I think at that point it's kind of going to hell. You got DJ that has to block three people. It wasn't never going to work. So I think that's more so a bad play as opposed to play execution per se. Got stonewalled again on somebody's back, Kyle. So let's look at it from the other angle. I'm believing 73 is where you got stuck. Let's find out. Do we get any push up front? Okay, somebody, DJ, I would like to say, missed his assignment right there. Bunches. Now you see with DJ they had two wide receivers on the block for screen. The other screen would have been slightly more successful if you do that. We 3rd and 7 on Baltimore 5 again. And that's how you do it. You get that first down. What I don't get is so we on this 5 over here. I think DJ gonna get the run this time, yeah. So not a bad play overall. DJ got 3 yards. I would like to see more instances where DJ is in the backfield and doesn't actually get the ball. I need them to have a bit of confusion when he's back there. Maybe put him back there with somebody else and let him go straight for the block. Type you know. Now we're getting a 2nd and 7 on this. Let's see what Caleb does in this incompletion. Is it Caleb? Play action. Oh, okay. So two men got to him quick. What was the better option here? So 15 is going straight out, I believe. Burton's going straight out. Oh, Now, if Caleb, I think Caleb had his idea. I am live today and tomorrow, G Honda. Tomorrow we talking Paul Pierce, my baby. We gonna get into it about Paul. So I know you got some things you already probably didn't document it. I'm gonna go back and check the G Honda archives and see if it's something that I can gain from that one. But right here on this incomplete to Caleb, to Rome, inaccurate throw, straight across the middle. You gotta. He's standing kind of flat-footed there. So it's like you didn't have hurried feet, but you didn't have your feet set. Therefore, you made a bad pass. And that bad pass resulted in us getting another field goal, and thus 2 field goals instead of 2 touchdowns. And y'all, well, you know the rest. You know what happened. Field goals aren't enough. I believe the Jurassic Giraffe said it himself. But we 6-0 right now. The game, although it wasn't looking over the top promising at this point, it didn't look bad. But now, after this, I think at this point, this is when everything kind of goes awry for the team. But we'll look at it objectively, I would hope, I guess. Let's find out what Caleb did wrong. And I'm definitely not going to worry too much about the defense. I would like to focus in on and I do have questions for the defense. For example, Tremaine and TJ, I think, executed pretty well in the coverage lanes. And I think for the most part, the safeties were able to hold position. I do think at times we didn't do enough gang tackling, not enough rotations, and that led to a lot of missed tackles. And those missed tackles weren't for big gains, but they were for just enough gains at times to derail getting off the field. And at that point, you give yourself limited opportunities to stop the bowling ball known as Derrick Henry. And shout out to Snoop Hundley for actually playing a pretty consistent game to get things together. My question is, when healthy, do we think this defense is built to stop offenses? I know they can generate turnovers with the best of them right now. I want to know, cleaning up some things with the gap integrities and so on and so forth, would we be able to stop things? For example, in this play right here, if we have our normal safeties, cornerbacks, at least one, is that play action going to get us like that? Because the linebacker got caught flat-footed. TJ tried to jump for it. You see, Tremaine slid the wrong way, but on that particular, Noah Sewell's out of position, I think. Now let's see if the referees inserted themselves into this game. Because they say it's a face mask on Isaiah Likely. Yeah, you did it, Isaiah. You did it. So at that point, things looking good for us. Thinking everything's moving them back. And then Snoop. Deep in the backfield is Henry. And you think he's going to get a run. That was the weakest play action ever. And they still got a screen out of that. Because I think Snoop is decisive of where he's going with the ball. And again, if you caught something on film so far that I didn't mention, drop a timestamp for it. Let me know what it is that I missed and how I can see it better. Let's break it down together. And while we're breaking it down, hit the like button. Right now I'm trying to find actual Bears plays because I don't want to see the touchdowns that do no good for me out here. We're going to try to get into, there we go, a Caleb play. So they are up 7-6 at this point. This is 2nd and 10. And shotgun. Almost a good play. I'm trying to see exactly where we could have gotten that extra help around 58, because right in this area here, who could have picked up Roquan? I'm not seeing the man who could have got him. So maybe it's just a good play on Roquan. But it's 3rd and 9, so we got no yards out of that. How does he respond? Shotgun again. Excellent. It was an excellent blitz pickup. Caleb has to have the frame of mind to dump the ball off right in front of him here. If we notice this right here, DeAndre gives a nice chip and turns to sit down. Chip right there. But he's already got his eyes, because of the blitz, he's nowhere near staring in the middle of the field, and he's ready to abort already. Now this right here, we got the ball down to the 1 yard line here. But it says a penalty on the newly signed Damari Jackson. Illegal formation. Not certain, because they don't give a number out. But I want to know exactly what was illegal about the formation there to make us have to re-kick that and take excellent field position away. And instead, we had to go ahead and re-punt. And he punts out of bounds. Not a bad punt, but the first one was a great punt. And so when you lose the opportunity to take the great punt on the 1, now they're on the 22. And now Keaton Mitchell is going to find a way to be a change of pace back and get into our crawl after Derrick Henry, because it wasn't just a Derrick Henry game out there. We're still looking for more things because the defense was beat up, so it's kind of unfair for me to look at them in a multitude of ways. I do think that the sack pressures and things like that did increase for some of the defenders, not named Dio Odingbo. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and get into some more Caleb passing. Score is 10-6 right now at this point. All right, let's see. He threw the ball to Zacchaeus. Let's see who else was open on the right side over here, and if there's a better option. So we see DeAndre in the backfield with him. Oh, let's see from this angle better. Okay. Yeah, now if he's looking, this is the time where you did need to be paying attention to Rome, because Rome was breaking to the outside of the route and he was out there with more space in front of him by himself to make a better play. So at that instance, this is the time where you do get to lock in on Rome, because if you do see, even if not Rome, DeAndre is leaking out in the backfield. Once again, the dump off is there for him. He has to see that. 2nd and 4. These is one of the good things that Caleb did in this game. Everything. That's right. They over pursued. You step right on up and you get it. And anytime they over pursue, step right up and go get it. Watch. Soon as he see too much pressure right there, 0 is coming. Everybody's on the inside with you now. Now you got a free lane. Go. Being a runner sometimes is going to help us out. 1st and 10 on the 44. Okay. If everybody that was around, Zacchaeus was the right read. Or at least the best option. Still, if he climbs the pocket a bit better, maybe he avails himself to having DJ get a couple more seconds. Now I want to see, they say it's intentional grounding. Let's see where he throws the ball, and let's see if we have anybody. Okay, so nobody was in the vicinity, but I'm trying to see exactly who was back there to make this be intentional grounding. Okay. I get it. I get it on that one. You got to do better right there, Caleb. Good pass. Nice, easy pitch and catch. You need a lot more of those. But it only rendered us a 58-yard try. We know that my boy Cairo's not the best, but he gonna try. Just not enough leg for him over there. I mean, he was close, but, no cigar. Right in front of it. Wouldn't do us any good. I don't know if it would have been a momentum helper. Next play up. We're going to try to get to, I guess the third quarter is really when I can say Caleb probably is going to experience some problems. But I do want to go ahead. Let's first see if I can dissect in the Snoop Hundley play if anything looks like something Caleb should have done. So you see this is 1st and 10 on 8:34. Slight motion in. Now he wrote out to the side, and he did very little on that play that was impressive. But he kept his eyes down the field, rolled to the side that he needed to see his receiver. You see, he noticed a single. He said he knows a single. That's why he straightforward, 1-on-1. And that's where McLeod is not, the caliber of somebody else. Because if you were a different caliber, they would easily have, put that together to make a good play defensively. But when you're the third or fourth or fifth cornerback, kind of might not necessarily behoove you to get into it that way. Nonetheless, let's see. I believe this is a screen play on 2nd and 7. Caleb, let's see if he threw it to Burton. Let's see if anybody else is the right read. Okay, somebody missed a blocking assignment to start that because that man seemed to run free right here. So we got 6 on the line. Yeah, 15. I don't know what the hell you were doing right there, Rome. But you didn't nearly have no blocking right there. There was no blocking. Now, on 3rd and 8, I have no idea why you threw the ball to this guy. As a matter of fact, let me go back again. See who else is open. So you got the tight end at the bottom here. The tight end, and Kyle, once again, are your reads. The left side of the field is where your reads are, Caleb. Watch this. They all break in. So once they all break in on the hots, now you got people open. Instead, we was looking there. You dumped at the Kyle, and he is up the field. I need you to be better, Caleb. I need you to be better, Caleb. I repeat. No more plays for. Let's matter of fact, let's get here on this low block. They say it's a low block on Noah Sewell. We returning the ball. I haven't located 44 just yet, so this is the problem for me. .44 is here. So tell me where the low block was on Noah Sewell. No block whatsoever. In fact, he got cut. yet the play call was on him. I can't understand it, but some things don't make sense. The craziness is in this game that Dahlman is the center, but Tony is the person that looks back for the signal so that he gives the signal to Dahlman to snap. I'm guessing that's from the recent yips of holding on to the damn snap. But I digress. Let's find if we have any more Caleb plays in this quarter here. Nope, no more. Now let's see, do we have any more as we kind of get towards the conclusion of it. This is the crux of what things, just to be better and understand where, if any place, Caleb can do better with the ball. We're down 10 points right now, 16-6. This is a 3-yard pass to DJ. But if you notice, somebody's already on the field. And this couldn't have, let's go back. Somebody on his left side over here that's burning down the field already. One, DJ wasn't the play. The tight end, 81, Smythe, worst case. But I want to see this topical play again. Over here. Who is this guy right here at the bottom of the... He is off. Is that Fortune? Either that's Burden or Zacchaeus, and he is gone. And if Caleb looks that way, if you keep your face, if you step up in the pocket, if he climbs the pocket right there to avoid Roquan, look at this. If he climbs this pocket, so he collapses down, step up. You slide slightly. You sliding up and to the left, and you avoid Roquan, and you burn that. You rip that bitch to the left sideline to get to the receiver. Bird knows the kids. I'm not certain who it was, but somebody flew down the field. And you have got to see that. And that's what I'm talking about when I speak of Caleb and his footwork in terms of the happy feet and everything like that. I need you to be better. Now, I will admit, there are times that the referees may have decided things against us. Critical play against the Bears when they did not call the OPI on DeAndre Hopkins. Nonetheless, you realize that when you see a play like this pass right here from Caleb Jerome, you have the capabilities to step, and he still won't step fully up. He'll set his feet, but he won't step up in the pocket, and he really needs to start stepping up, climbing that pocket, because it's going to be imperative that you do that for your extended plays. We amongst the league leaders in explosive plays now, but you imagine if you do that, we are exponentially better in explosive plays, and we are better at overall offensive execution. And so if we're able to do those types of things, clean up the penalties on our end so that the referees do not become necessarily a factor, it gives us the best opportunity to not be subjected to ticky-tacks or finish line plays that go against us. And let's check this Caleb throw out because it's 27 yards. Good play. I want to see if there was anything else Caleb possibly could have done because, hell, 35 yards, a splash play. And so I won't rail against the person he threw the ball to. But if you notice the whole play in terms of somebody who maybe could have had more yards, got a head of steam, and allowed Rome to block for them, DJ is at the bottom of the screen right beneath him. If you, the larger yardage chunk was to Rome, but I do believe that he could have blocked And DJ with a head of steam could have bowling balled himself a little further with yak yards right there in that particular instance. But I won't rail against it too much. Just something I noticed in watching the play. Now, 3rd and 6. They attack with a blitz. Calmly, you dump it off. We to the 5. Simplistic play. Nothing heavy. He can't hear him, so he got a kill right now. Come on in, help me out. And you see DeAndre had the wherewithal to not even chip. He gave him the deke that he was going to do so. Spent and was ready to go ahead and receive the ball. Savvy vet DeAndre, as usual, right now is gaining the stamp of approval when it comes to the offense. You know, not to mention, if I'm correct, is he the touchdown scorer in this game? The rushing touchdown, I do believe, came from DeAndre on this sequence. Let me know if you remember. Do you remember? Go and let me know. Let's see this blocking for this hole. All right, 62 is in there by itself. Tooney got flooded by 3 people. I want to know who was supposed to help Joe Tooney on this play here. So, Joe Tooney here. Watch the pressure that comes in. Was that a leveling responsibility? I'm not sure. But let's see if we can rebound on this block. Let's see who did their job right here. Everybody. You see that they get more push. DeAndre had a head full of steam to go ahead and give him the rest of what he needed to get in there. Stuff you need in your life. Alrighty. We get into the things that I don't want to see, but we got to see them. Eligible receiver. Now let's see. This is another place. We are at 1st and 10. Backed up pretty far already. And nobody moved. They're throwing flags. Watch this again. Maybe you can see it. This is the guy who they called this on. Him, here. See if he moves. Oh, I saw it. He did move. Now I don't know if they drew him off, but that left knee did a quiver. Sorry. It's on this drive where we get the critical mistakes. Let's get to this critical play right here. This is a 3-point game. 3-point game right now. And you have all opportunity to go ahead and make it yours. Fake. Now you drop the ball off to the man in the flat. No, you don't do that. You threw to Rome. Now let's see why you did that. See the man come in motion. So you got enough blockers on this side. Play action. Now, they all covered up. You thought Rome was there by himself. I don't know why you thought Rome was there by itself, but he wasn't. And that was a critical way to basically end the game for us. Basically, and by and large, you know, we can see it how we see it. The tape shows that there were several times Caleb did not exercise the opportunity to see ways to make plays. Climb in the pocket, and I believe, now that I look at it, because I talked to one of my besties about it, rolling to the right is something Caleb has to work on. I believe that every throw that every throw that he makes rolling to the right at this point right now is arm talent more so than accuracy and quarterback know-how. I do believe that things going to the left give him a bit more comfort into the middle of the field. I need him to be able to see his flats options and his dump offs a lot more than he has seen them, along with knowing that climbing the pocket will allow him to have more explosive plays downfield. I believe in this particular breakdown, I was able to slightly see, and I'll go back to look at other weeks, does Caleb have a problem stepping up in the pocket? Because if you are not stepping up in the pocket, and the only thing that he's working on at this point is not having unsettled feet and having happy feet moving around in the pocket. So he wants to be overly concerned with making sure that he gets his feet in a calm sense. I do want to see that he is able to, in this next few weeks or so before the season is concluded, start to demonstrate the ability to step up and climb the pocket, because in doing so, you give your receivers the extra opportunity to double move or beat somebody, run their complete route. 2, you give yourself extra time without putting strain on the offensive line, because you are sliding up into the pocket where sometimes you can just be evasive in the way in which you elude blocker and not take a sack, as opposed to rolling out to either side. North and South is always how the game is best played, as opposed to East and West. And I think that will help us much more than the lack of calls that have been in our favor. I do believe this game was lost in the trenches. I don't believe that the referees cost us the game, but there were opportunities for us to remain in the game, and those opportunities were, in fact, limited or nullified by officiating. However, the threes that you got in the beginning as opposed to actual sixes is what really got us all messed up. Sometimes those are the things that will get you that way. With that being said, we got any takeaways from the tape? Any takeaways from any specific player? People that we want to see be involved more, or that we want to highlight and focus in a bit more as far as the R22s go? We can preview the next opponent in one of our upcoming streams, or we can tease what we might delve into for our next R22. So with that being said, drop your questions for the next stream. I will pick one of those to review live. And if you want to deep dive into Caleb's third down throws next episode, we will do just that. If you're new here, subscribe to the Postal Game. We deliver breakdowns and live game reviews weekly. Until next time, check me out tomorrow for a little junk mail as we tap into the land of brand and how it can be affected by the mishaps of running afoul of the law. Until next time, until next delivery, Postman is out. It's the wife is going to call.